Welcome to another episode of the Team Elmer's Update, where we take you past the orange barrels and onto the job site. Heavy haul trucks and trailers are necessary for transporting large quantities of materials, but it's important for those that share the road with them to understand that they operate differently than your average vehicle. For instance, EPA emission standards regulate the amount of fuel allowed to go into the engine at once, resulting in a more eco-friendly vehicle. The trade-off, however, is a much slower acceleration rate. This, coupled with heavier vehicle weights, cause these larger trucks and trailers to take longer to get up to speed than your average size car.
When a truck is loaded, they have a lot of weight to get started going forward. With the new motors taken off, higher gear ratios, it takes them a little bit longer to get up to speed and get doing it. It's like taking a pile of bricks and putting in a sled and grabbing a rope and trying to pull it, trying to run with it. You can't run full speed with it right away. You've got to get it moving and let it pick up speed and gain speed. It's just like that with a semi. When it's loaded, it's really bad. When they're empty, they can pick up speed a little bit more, but they still have to shift up through the gears. But it takes time. People just have to be patient.
Big misconception with big trucks is big trucks have big brakes. Well, along with the big brakes, they're also carrying bigger loads. They have more inertia behind them, so it takes them a little longer to stop. Braking distance with passenger vehicles is about 316 feet at a speed of 60 miles an hour. A big truck for that same speed of 60 miles an hour takes up to 525 feet to stop. As speed doubles, your braking distance quadruples. Along with braking distance, you have to take into account the wear and tear on your tires, whether it be slippery out, snow, rain, wet conditions, the type of road surface that you're on. At 60 miles an hour, you're covering a distance of 88 feet per second. The average American out on the roadways is about 2 seconds to react. So from the time their brain tells their foot to actually step on the brake, they've already covered approximately 200 feet.
Not only does it take much longer for the larger vehicles to come to a complete stop, but it can also be very difficult to see the smaller vehicles around them.
The only way that they have to see the traffic is out the side windows, out the windshield, and out the rear view mirrors. They may have a back window in them, but with a trailer hooked onto them, they have no way of seeing behind them. Typically when you're following a big truck, you want to stay back far enough so that you can see his mirrors. If you can't see his mirrors, he can't see you.
There's always a blind spot on the right-hand side if you're coming up beside them, from about the drive tires of the truck to about the steer axle. It's kind of a blind area.
There are spaces in front of the vehicle you can't see, spaces right tight behind the vehicle you can't see. Coming up the passenger side, you should never pass a big truck on the right side. You always want to pass the vehicle on the left-hand side. Well, you want to get that pass done in an expedient amount of time. I'm not saying speed, but get by it, give yourself lots of room, and then merge back over into your lane.
If you can't see them in your mirror, you don't have room to cut in. And remember, getting in front of that truck and then all of a sudden have to brake, that truck can't brake as quick as what you may brake in your car, and it takes him further, so he needs a little more distance to brake. Same thing goes for when you pull out in front of a truck. When you're at an intersection, a driveway, you're going to pull out in the flow of traffic. A lot of people see a big truck coming and, oh, I got to get in front of that truck, got to pull out in front of them, they'll slow me down, they'll hold me up. Is it safe? Can you pick up enough speed and get ahead of that truck?
As with anything, you want to use some courtesy out there and common sense. You never want to pull out in front of anybody, but when it comes to big trucks, understand we've been talking about the braking distance. Distractions will also increase a lot of that distance. You pull out in front of a big truck, they have to slam on the brakes, there's people following them, that sort of thing. Don't just assume because it's a big truck it's going slow.
Be patient. Always remember, is it worth your life? Is it really saving you that much time?
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Team Elmer's Update. As always, stay safe out there. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook, and check out teamelmers.com for more project information.